Hey, this is Matt once again. What about you? The video is another paid request, and this time is for the Substitute 3 Winner Takes All from 1999, which in this pack is this one right here. Apparently, Neighbor's Rooster is excited. I'm talking about this, which I can understand because I would say of the Tree Williams, this is the best of the three that Tree Williams starred in, and it's my second favorite after the first Substitute film. Now, uh, first off, if anyone has any requests for any type of videos, feel free to send them either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Second off, although I do like the Substitute 2, I do think this film has helped. Why I like the third one more than the second one is, number one, I think you got a little bit more of an established director in Robert Radler, who had done Best of the Best 1 and 2. So you had a little bit more experience with action. Number two, not only do you have Tree Williams, but you also have Claudia Christian, who I liked in Babylon 5. She's in this. As well as James Black. Plays this badass character with a sword. And that's another guy I always liked. He would be in a lot of little roles in films like Soldier with Kurt Russell. I think Godzilla 1998, he had a small role. But in the independent circuit, he starred in the film called Ozone, directed by J.R. Bookwalter. And he was friends with J.R. Bookwalter. And in a way, it's almost... Well, at the end of that, J.R. Bookwalter was a guy that did these very, very, very low-budget films. He got on the scene with a film called The Dead Next Door. And then, because of the success of that, I forget what... Was it Wisconsin? I forget where it was. He got a deal with a group to do 6 movies, as he called it, the six-pack. He called it that because, as he says, you need a six-pack to get through these movies. Because even he knew they sucked, but it was like Zombie Cop, Maximum Impact, like some of the worst movies ever, but I have the DVDs because the commentaries on them are hilarious. Like, they know what these films are, and you just tell, like, we didn't know what we were doing, and we're just making the film by the seat of our pants with like 5 pennies and a dime. And one of the commentaries is, oh, what was it? God, I forgot what it was. About a team, and there's like dinosaurs. There's all this like stock footage of stop motion. And James Black and Gerald Bookwalter do the commentary. It's the funniest shit. And then they have such good camaraderie with each other. Same with the commentary on Ozone, and then even the commentary on a film James Black did called The Vault, which, I mean, again, I'm not a fan of the film, but I like their personality. They worked so well together in terms of commentaries. I'm like, I wish that pair could do commentaries on anything. Like, they really, I know this sounds weird, but if you ever find those movies, it's worth a just for the commentaries. But so I know James Black from that stuff, so it was nice to see him in a pretty, compared to other stuff, he did a bigger role. And pretty much the story of this is, it's in Kosovo, where him and this guy are captured. He has to mercy kill his buddy, and then when he gets out, just the director wanted to make a big impression, first and foremost, because he kills this guy, and Tree Williams jams the knife and goes under the guy's chin, and you see the knife in the guy's mouth. I'm like, ooh, that's a good moment. The other guy stabs in the arm and stabs the shit out of the guy. Okay, this director wants to make a first impression. So afterward, we're in Long Island. It's a college. And let me see, the guy, I want to say it was the guy's, I can't remember, is the guy's daughter or sister? I think daughter. Anyway, she teaches, and these college guys, these football players are being very abusive. You know, as it says in the back here, The university football team is deep into an underworld of drugs and blackmail, using their muscle off the playing field as well. It's up to the substitute as true mercenaries to teach these students a lesson they will never forget. Although the thing is, they kind of go away from the football players to the other bad guys that are kind of behind all this selling steroids and all this other business. Because the finale's not them fighting the football players, is them fighting these other bad guys. So like I say, it kind of goes away from the football players. So like the football players is more the first half, and then the bad guys behind what's going on is the second half. But it goes at a pretty good pace for a good chunk of it. Let's say I do like the addition of James Black, who is a man of few words, but he's got a sword. He's even a point that he cuts a guy's fucking arm off, which is pretty good effect. Bloody effect of his bloody stump there. There's a bit where Tree Williams fights these football players in a pizza parlor. He's like throwing a plate as a frisbee. That was a fun sequence. This is a bit where he's teaching class and he has this big football player. You don't want any of me. And Treat's like, yes, I do. Just by this point, the lady he had seen has been attacked and put in the hospital. He beats the fuck out of a guy, and his lesson is, see, I forced him to fight me on my terms. Now, we'll say in the middle, the pacing kind of is flustered a bit because they need to go undercover in this bar. So they did Claudia Christian. I do like the dialogue between Claudia and Treat where she's like, I'm not doing this. You want me to undercover in the titty bar? It's a sports bar. What do you find? It's a sports and titty bar. Because I do think the movie slows down a bit in this section. I mean, granted, it's hard for me to complain about a wet t-shirt contest. Especially when they don't do that stuff nowadays in movies. So, I mean, that part is good, but it's her trying to... It's also fun to see Claudia where we see how she is, and then her trying to put on this act of this airhead, bubblehead character. Like, that was kind of a fun bit of acting for Claudia Christian. But it does slow down a bit of her trying to figure out what's going on, information on these guys, including this guy who's the son of this... I don't know if he was a mob boss, but son of this... The son of who the head bad guy happens to be. And like I said, the movie kind of slows down a bit in the pacing. But after that, it does pick up a bit. The son of that mob boss finds out who True Williams is, tries to find him near this pool, but True Williams fucks their day up. And he takes his glasses off, and he has a little blade on one of the glasses, able to cut a guy's neck. Thought that was pretty cool. The finale, when they get into the battle with the bad guys, Claudia Christian is fighting. I think he was a wrestler in real life. I don't know if it was a Man Mountain Rock. I can't remember who he was as a wrestler, but he's a much bigger guy. And Claudia is able to fight him, break his fucking fingers. The action scene seems a bit more assured and comfortable compared with the second film, because Robert Radler has a little bit more experience with that. Shooting people, breaking necks, etc. It's still, again, direct-to-video, so it's nothing extravagant compared with the first movie, but still fairly capable. Like I said, James Black cuts a guy's arms off, which is nice. Pretty cool to see. Even like the bad guy at the end, like True Williams, just the bad guy, he just keeps ramming the guy's legs back and forth until it's finally crushed and the guy's fucking dead. I mean, I wish James Black had a little bit more dialogue as a character. Idea he's supposed to be... He has bits here and there, but he's a bit more of the silent type. I wish Claudia Tricia had come in earlier in the film because I do like this team. I wish this team would have come back for the fourth film. I think that would have been a positive to have James Black and Claudia Tricia in the fourth film. I do think that would have been a positive. Also, I do wish maybe some of the football players have been with the bad guys to give a little bit more of that end to that story. Like maybe the football players, they steroid raged up. Maybe they decide to work with the bad guys so that some of those football players could get their comeuppance. But I guess really on the flip side, the football players are being ditched, but it was the other people I think that beat up the girl and put her in the hospital. Just like at the very end, if you barely hear, you hear that I just like one of the football players left school or something. Like it like passes by very briefly. You can almost miss it. I'd probably like to have seen a little bit more action as well, but I'm a fanatic when it comes to that. But yeah, what makes it work is again Tree Williams once again is likable, is charming, he's easy to watch in this type of scenario. When the action scenes happen, they're mostly competently done. Like I said, Claudia Tricia and James Blatt, they're a welcome addition. Like I said, I kind of wish they were together in the fourth film. And like I said, Claudia Tricia doesn't come in till like almost halfway through the film. But yeah, I did like them as a team. I even didn't mind the other guy who was this overweight guy who gets the surveillance and sets up the cameras and all that stuff. I even didn't mind that actor. Sorry, I forgot his name. Like I said, I do wish there was a bit more action. I wish they had a little bit more budget to maybe make things a little bit more extravagant. But overall, for a direct-to-video film, it's still fairly entertaining. It's 90 minutes, doesn't overstay its welcome. Yeah, it does slow down the middle, but on the flip side, you do have a wet T-shirt contest, so it's during the bar scene, so it's not too shabby. And Tree Williams still has, like I said, that likable charm that makes these sequels worthwhile to watch. So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you later. Bye bye.